All right. Are you ready for some football? It's a big day for fans with the new NFL season kicking off tonight.
All right, so for more on all of this, let's bring in Scott Pioli. He is a CBS Sports and NFL Network analyst, and he's a former NFL general manager. Thanks for joining us. I feel like the last couple of times we've spoken to you, it's been like really serious topics.
Yeah, let's have some fun.
So it's good to lighten it up a little bit, right?
Very heavy.
So this offseason, speaking of that, there were so many quarterback storylines. Star QB Russell Wilson, Matt Bryant, Baker Mayfield, Carson Wentz, Deshaun Watson. With new homes, the changing of the quarterbacks, we have changing of the quarterbacks in Pittsburgh, San Francisco. Young stars like, are they going to make me read like every quarterback's name in the NFL?
Because
these just, you can tell these just roll off my tongue effortlessly. There's been a lot going on.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Which quarterbacks do you find the most intriguing?
Oh, Anne-Marie and Dr. Vlad, great to be with you. Yeah, you're right. I'm glad we're not so heavy today. We can't be. So, yeah, this is the quarterback changes this year. This was the busiest quarterback season and quarterback carousel I think that we ever had, especially with veteran players. The two that are most intriguing to me, I think, though, are definitely the Russell Wilson going from Seattle to Denver, and then also Matt Ryan going from Atlanta to Indianapolis. And the reason being, these are both high-quality caliber quarterbacks that are going to teams that have a lot of other things that are set in place already. They're leaving teams that really were struggling. But now you've got these high-caliber quarterbacks jumping at the jobs where they've got a lot of people and a lot of support around them that can really make their teams good. The things that both Indianapolis and Denver were missing were high-end quarterbacks. They've got them now. So I really think that those two moves in particular, again, with all those moves that you just went through, Anne-Marie, these two moves in particular, I think are going to have a lot to do with what happens with the NFL's power structure this year.
Scott, let me ask you about Tom Brady. Let me get Tom Brady out of the way because I'm just intrigued by
his marriage.
That too. The sordid details of his personal life. No, they're not sordid. Of course, they're not sordid. But no, I'm intrigued by the fact that he, having pretty much accomplished everything and anything you could accomplish in this game, why he wants to come back again. I know that he can. I know that he has the skills, and apparently the way he takes care of his body, he feels that he's able to compete with guys who are, in their 20s coming into the league. Some of them you mentioned them, but I mean, he's 45 years old. What do you think is going through his mind about why he wants to put himself through that when he could be, because a lot of
go out on top.
He can go out on top. I mean, a lot of my heroes, Joe Montana. Terry Bradshaw, for example. I mean, these guys were not even as old as Brady, and at the end of their career, Roger Staubach, I remember, just not being able to cut it. Dan Marino. Why does he want to put himself through this again?
Well, I think it's just how he's built, Vlad. And it's interesting because you mentioned those other players, and it was sad to watch some of those players. Many who were players that I watched at the end of their careers, it was sad to watch them. Tommy hasn't gotten to the place yet where his skills and abilities have declined that much, nor has his energy. That's the fascinating part. I think when we look back at some of those other players, their energy seemed to start to deplete because they weren't on good teams or it was just so visible where their skills were. To me, one of the most amazing things about this is, I knew Tommy when he was a kid, right? Was there when we drafted him and spent that first decade with him. What fascinates me is I see how emotionally grueling this game is on players and the ups and the downs and the mental health issues. How he has been able to sustain his emotional and mental health through this whole thing is fascinating to me. Because yes, your body has to hold up, but so does your mind. So to me, I think this is part of who he is and how he's built. I know that he's so much more than just a football player. I know that he has plans after the game to make a big difference, to be a part of the greater good and doing more for other people. But I think he just keeps establishing this next level or next standard that's just simply amazing. It just baffles me that he has this much emotional endurance.
Yeah, really looking forward to seeing him on the field. Scott Pioli, always great to talk to you, my friend. Thank you.
Thanks, Anne-Marie. Thanks, Vlad. Good to see you.
Good to see you. You can stream NFL games on Paramount Plus. That's starting Sunday. We'll be right back.